What's going on? Robert Tolnai here, your local realtor, your friend, traveler, and always the guy looking to save you more money and help you in any way that I can so you can make better decisions for you and your family. So this is this week's episode of Sunday Happy Hour, and that means this week, since it's still summer, sporting a Corona, no lime, but lemon does just as good. Let me see if I can still do this like back in the days without getting it everywhere. So it really gets in there so I can really taste it and then let it go very easy. Perfect. All right, I still got it. Cheers. So today, like I promised in the previous episode, we're going to start talking and break down each of the 4 properties that we've done so far as investment properties in the hope that I can help you if you are on the fence and ready to start doing your first investment property. So check out this video, take a look all the way to the end, because at the end I'm going to give you one way where you can find properties and deals like this one that we're going to talk about today, and you don't want to miss that. Check out the video. All right, so thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope that this is going to be very helpful for you. I'm going to try to keep it short, but there's a lot of information to cover. So if you don't watch it all in one sit down, no problem. Watch it later in the evening. But I promise you it's going to be good information, especially if you have been considering becoming a real estate investor or just trying it out on a part-time basis and see if it makes sense for you. So today we're going to talk about the first property that we ever did. We did not have the money to buy it outright cash. We did not have even enough money to put down payment on it, because as you know, probably all investment properties, you have to put down 20%. We did not have that. We had saved up some money for repairs, so we had that available. If you don't have even that available, it's okay. You could still do this this type of transaction, this strategy. You either can put some of those repairs on your credit cards, which obviously that's going to raise a lot of red flags, and people are going to be like, you're crazy, don't tell me to go on credit. You don't have to go on credit, but if you have to, I promise you it will be worth it if you can do this type of strategy. Or partner up with somebody else that has the cash. So if you have the property that you know somebody needs to get rid of and they don't want to list it and it could be a good deal, call me, text me. I would love to partner up with you and do the deal together, and at least give you an opportunity to kind of get your feet wet and get into this and get one done so you can kind of see how it works. But so all we had is just the repair money. So the way that we did it is, well, first let me tell you this. Let me tell you what I believe are the 2 most important rules of investing that I've learned through these 4 transactions. And again, guys, I know this might sound funny. We've only done 4. We're totally rookies, totally at the beginning of our road, but we've learned from each one of them. And the goal of these is to give you all the information that we've learned, all the mistakes that we've made, so you don't have to make the same mistakes, okay? So in my opinion, these are the 2 most important rules. And the first, rule number 1, I mean, it comes straight from my mentor and my brother from another mother, Jared Malone, which you guys should know by now. If you don't, just go back and watch the previous episodes. A lot of good information, and probably 99% of everything I've learned about real estate and investing, I've learned from him. Awesome guy. So here's rule number 1, guys. You make your money when you buy. So what that means is when you buy the property, that's when you have to strike a good deal, because if you don't buy it right, you're probably going to lose in the back end. What that means is you have to do your due diligence. You have to make sure you do your market analysis, what that home might sell for when it's completely done. From there, you got to take off all of your expenses. All of them are going to be estimated, of course, and I can tell you from experience, everything we've estimated, it costs us more every single time, and most investors will probably tell you the same. So you got to work all that into the number and make sure that you will have enough net profit at the end that's going to be worth your time, okay? And the second rule that I think is super important is try to make it a win-win situation, okay? And in my opinion, guys, that's a rule for me, at least, anywhere in anything in life, okay? It's not just real estate investing. It's for anything. Now, I'm sure you might have other people out there that are going to tell you, screw that. It's your money. You got to win. Just make the other person happy, but you got to win. And maybe that's right for them. I don't know. It's just not right for me. It just you can always make a win-win that everybody's gonna be happy. You make your money, they make their money, and you save a long-lasting relationship through that. So that's what we did. We sat down, we discussed what our purchase price would be, the most that we were able to pay. We were able to agree on a purchase price that made sense for both of us. And then we took it to the next step, which is the cool part of this strategy, the uniqueness of this strategy, and why I think anybody can do it even if you don't have money. So let's talk about that. All right, so what we did, guys, we knew we didn't have the money to buy it outright. And luckily, the seller was not in a hurry to receive their money. And we found a way to make it worth it to them to wait it out as long as we need to do what we have to do to get this property sold. So I knew we need about 2 to 3 months to get it fixed up, remodeled, and make it beautiful. And then I would need about 1, 2, maybe 3 months tops to get it sold, to get it marketed, listed, marketed, and sold, and be able to close on the transaction. So that's about a 6-month period. So what we were able to do is we asked her to give us a 6-month closing on the contract. And we did what's called an assignment of contract. So that means that I could buy it, or I could assign the sale or the contract to somebody else, to a new buyer, which is exactly what we did in essence. But they were willing to wait the 6 months for us to do what we have to do to get the property ready and sold. So what does that mean? That means that you have holding costs throughout that period of time. And because the property was still in the seller's name, it's all of their expenses. They're responsible for that cost. But the way you make it a win-win, guys, is you take over all the holding costs, okay? It should not be on the seller. They're doing you a favor for letting you keep the contract for that long, so make it worth it to them. So holding cost means payment per month. So if they have a mortgage that they're still paying, or if it's an interest-only payment for a line of credit or anything like that, and then any expenses that they have, which are utilities, HOA fees, things like that. So we made a list of all of their expenses. We told them we will pay for them every single month. We'll cover all their expenses. Plus, to make it even more worth it for them, we are going to give them an additional $200 each month just for doing us this favor. Now, to make it even more worth it for them, because they're great people, great clients, and they've become friends over time, we took it a step farther, which you don't have to do this, but again, I'm all about win-win and I want both of us to be happy. We promised them that at the end of this transaction, we are going to pay them an additional 1% of the sales price, okay? So that essentially was an extra $2,000 to $2,500 depending on where we were able to sell this property. And they were super excited about this because it didn't cost them anything. All they were doing is they were going to wait longer till they received their money. So if you find somebody that's in that position and they're not stressed for it, it's really gonna work out great for both of you because you don't have to dish additional money out of pocket. Therefore, your investment money, your investment capital is much less, so your risk is much less. All right, so I hope that helps. If you have any questions on that, if you need more details on how to write that contract or what all those things mean, just give me a call, guys. I'd love to help. That's why I'm doing these. I want to help you be able to get started and do one of these on your own. All right, so then that takes us to the renovation cost, which I'm not going to go into because that's like any other property. You make your estimations, get some bids, and you hope that you get as close as you can to it. We absolutely missed all of that. We made all the repairs and remodeling in the wrong order. We had to call guys back out to redo this and redo that, and it's just what happens, when you do it the first time around, and then you learn from every experience. But overall, guys, it was an amazing experience for us. It was a fantastic first flip. We made great money on it, and as I promised you, we're going to be very transparent with this. So we bought it, if I remember correctly, at $130,000. This property was a very old home, built in 1940 something, right by Sunny Slope, and most of you that watch my videos have probably seen it. If you haven't seen it, it's going to be right here on YouTube. Click on that and you will see the before and after photos, which is super cool. And we definitely were very proud of it. And again, thank you to my wife for being amazing for remodeling it, her friend Lavinia who helped her with a lot of the ideas, and all of our guys that did all the work. A&A Construction, the best. And of course, Mirage Granite. So if you ever need anybody that does this type of work, let me know. We'll be happy to share our people with you. So we bought it at 130. Our cost, we estimated, was going to be about 20 to 24,000, and guess what? It wasn't. It ended up being about 33 or 35,000. We sold it around 220. We gave $3,000 credit to the buyer for closing costs, which is typical in most price ranges. And we still ended up profiting somewhere around $30-something thousand. So it was an amazing experience. We definitely didn't make as much as we thought we would, because when you put it on paper, it looked a lot better. But still, we were super excited to get it done. We were super excited to take a home like that was just damaged and falling apart and turn it into a beautiful, beautiful home for somebody else. And again, just watch the video, and I'm sure you'll agree on how nice it turned out. And it was just a great experience, and it didn't cost us a lot of money, right? So we had money for repairs. We put some on credit cards, and then when when we got our profit, we paid everything back, and then we still had a nice chunk left to be ready for our next flip, which is going to be next week. So that's it, guys. I hope that helps. Thank you so much for watching. I hope I kept it as short as I could. Any questions you have, please let me know. And I promised you that at the end, I'll give you one way that you can find properties like that. And the way that I think is probably the best to find them is if you're driving around all the time, especially in your neighborhood. If you see a home that looks abandoned, that the weeds are everywhere, that it just looks like it has not been taken care of, most likely somebody is not even living there anymore, or it's someone that cannot take care of it, that cannot get it fixed up, repaired, or ready for the market to get it sold. Just go knock on the door, introduce yourself, and tell them, hey, have you guys considered selling it? I would love to buy this house. Let me see if I can help you, or anything along those lines, or call me for additional ways that you can do this. But that's one way that's super easy to do, because you're driving in and out of your neighborhood all the time. And definitely, if you see a home like that, you have a pretty good chance of knocking on that door and finding out that they do really need to sell that home. All right, that's it. I hope that helps. Thank you so much for watching. Have an amazing rest of your Sunday, and I will see you next week. Bye-bye.